to Mallett and Michelle on Dripping Springs, hosted by me, Michelle Lewis and Steve Mallett.
Well, hey, Michelle, how are you doing?
Hi, I had to say it really quick.
So I wouldn't interrupt you?
Yeah.
This has been a crazy week. This one we're recording on a Friday because you're getting ready to go to Paris and Italy for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And it's been a hell of a week. I'm hoping that the next 2 weeks while you're gone kind of fly by, but I'm not sure how that's going to go.
I'm very excited. This is we've been planning this trip for a long, long time, and everything that's going on in the world right now, I'm a little nervous, not going to lie, but this is our 30th wedding anniversary celebration. Our anniversary was in May, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm hoping we don't have any Instagram or TikTok posts of you running through the streets of Paris for your life or something like that.
Yeah, same, because we've already said that if I get kidnapped, they'll probably send me back.
I think they will. This lady's too much work.
She's enough.
Yeah.
She's enough.
Hey, we've been talking a lot about the economy lately, and we're not a real estate podcast, but we do talk about real estate occasionally. And the episode today brought to you by Capital Farm Credit, M. Elliott Studios, and the Mallett Integrity Team.
Yes.
But I saw this news story last week. It was on Inman News, which is a real estate specific news site. And the Fannie Mae, which is the federal insured mortgage company.
Sounds like a nice lady.
Yeah, Fannie Mae, I know. They did a national housing survey, and 84% of the people that they surveyed said now is not a good time to buy a house.
What? 84%?
84% said now is not a good time to buy. And furthermore, people also indicated their personal and economic situations are showing, quote, signs of strain.
Well, there are people buying houses right now, though.
There are people buying houses. Yeah, I agree. I actually think it's a better time to buy now than it has been for a while. 2 years ago, when everybody thought now's the time to buy, you paid a $650,000 house. You paid $850 for it because you had to bid up over 25 people. Now that same house is $550, $575, and you're the only one that makes an offer on it, and you go in there and you can get a deal on it and maybe get some concessions.
But there are people that have to buy. There's people,
always job transfers and things like that. People that and our business has stayed fairly busy this year. It's certainly not like what it was during the boom, but it's stayed steady. And you're right. There's always stuff to do.
It's going to get busier because I'm going out of town. So if you were thinking
exactly
of buying
We're gonna
or
have
selling,
14 sales while you're gone.
Call Mallett Integrity Team while I'm out of town, and Steve will cry.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But some economists are saying there's going to be a mild recession coming early next year, and that a lot of them are saying rates aren't going to go back down anytime soon. Now, the one unknown, believe it or not, with this is the war in Israel and how that's playing out. And a lot of times bad news like that actually makes rates come down. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next year. But the one thing that I've learned over the years about real estate is buy something when you have the money and you can afford it. That, especially like compared to the money in the stock market right now, my IRA is doing absolutely nothing. All the real estate I own may have dipped a little bit from 2 years ago, but it's still up over double what I paid for it a couple years ago. So,
I was asking Todd how our 401k was doing, and he goes, don't ask.
I know, it's sad. Yeah. Investing money in the stock market right now seems like you're just throwing it right out the window.
It's crazy. So early voting. October 23rd through November 3rd. Election Day is November 7th. There are 14 proposed amendments to the Texas state constitution, from lowering your property taxes to increasing the mandatory retirement age for state judges and justices. So one of them I thought that I would kind of go through, I think everybody is going to be very interested in, is Prop 4, the constitutional amendment to authorize the legislator to establish a temporary limit on the maximum appraised value of real property other than a residence homestead, blah, 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 blah. And it takes it from $40,000 to $100,000. So that is, you're voting on that this time. But here was another interesting one that I did not even know that was on there. Did you know that Dripping Springs has a Dripping Springs Community Library District?
I did.
I didn't know that because I don't live in the city of Dripping Springs. I live in Hayes County in
Right.
Dripping Springs School, so I live in the ETJ. But I didn't know that. So apparently there was going to be an election, and there was an order of cancellation of the election because the 3 people that were running unopposed. So they canceled their names on the board. And I think the current president, which is Missy Atwood, is now going to be, again, the president.
Okay.
Melva Codina and Bob Richardson. But I didn't know. Like, I guess what does it pay for? Books and
I guess, or
equipment and
I
things
think
like
haven't they redone that library recently?
I could lie to you and tell you that I knew the
You just
answer
make
to
it
that.
up.
I would make, and we're not in the business of making stuff up
No,
here.
as evidenced by the flub I just made a few minutes ago, which I cut out.
When was the last time you walked into a library?
Oh, you know what we did?
That's awful that I'm saying that. That I
but
haven't.
we did our engagement pictures at the Austin Library because they've got
That's a cool place. Though.
It is a cool place. The architecture is really cool, but I wasn't in there to rent a book or read anything. Rent a book.
Yeah, obviously, Steve hasn't been
It's
to
been
the
a long
rental
time.
library place in a long time.
I have this terrible habit of getting a great book and getting 50, 60, 70, 90% through it and never finishing it. I still need to finish James Fenelon's book. I got about 20 pages to go. It's been sitting on my nightstand. I just need to pick it up and finish it.
I have 6 great books sitting on my nightstand that I haven't opened. And so this is how I read a book. I get on a plane.
Read.
And then I get off the plane and
then you never touch it again.
But
Yeah.
I have books I'm taking with me on my trip, and they're Paris and Rome books. And I have been reading a lot that way. The Louvre and Versailles and blah, blah, blah.
It's going to be fun. You guys are going to have such a great time.
I'm so excited. But again, the early voting, October 23rd, November 3rd, and election date is November 7th. But I wanted to, and this print is really, really small. So early voting, you can vote at Headwaters and the Roger Hanks.
I think the early voting is going to be done by the time this episode comes out.
Well, no, through November 3rd.
Oh, November 3rd. Sorry.
And the regular voting on the date is the Driftwood Community Center, the Ranch Park, Headwaters again. Oh, I can't see what that says. I think it says the fire station, the North Hayes County Fire District, the Patriots Hall, and the Roger Hanks.
Okay.
So it's really, really, really small on this computer. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. I have a fun story. Have you heard the hashtag girl math and hashtag boy math?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it.
I have.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I do. I have. Todd tells me I have girl math all the time, and it makes total sense to me.
It makes total sense to
Yeah, it
you.
does.
It doesn't make total sense to anybody else.
The other girls, it does.
Yeah. It refers to twisty spending logic, meaning
I'm actually saving you money if something's on sale.
exactly.
Yeah, so like I do it to you.
You
all
do it to
the
me
time.
all the time. It's why I thought this story was funny. It's like when you go to Costco and you spend $600 and you go, I saved you $200.
I made you money.
You did not make me
I
money. I
did.
spent $600.
No, or if I go shopping for some staging stuff or whatever, and I go to TJ Maxx or Home Goods versus like
So you spend
Restoration Hardware.
spend $50 and you go, this would have been $500 in whatever at
Restoration
Nordstrom
Hardware.
or at Restoration Hardware.
I made you money.
You made me $450.
And so you know what my other girl math is? If I go buy a whole new wardrobe, I buy Todd a shirt. That is girl math.
Oh, so do you do girl math where you go, okay, this sweater was $100 and now it's on sale for $50. So that's like I got $50 I can go spend on something else, and you go buy Todd a shirt.
Yes.
That's exactly how it works.
Yes, it sounds
Well, I actually
logical.
did it today at Pigpen Barbecue when we went for lunch. I had my friend Chuck owed me $50 because we bought a birthday present for a friend of ours together, and he left it on my desk. And even though I had spent $100 on the gift card for our friend, that $50 to me was free money. So I used it to buy lunch.
And
And I caught myself.
I use girl math along with my girl dinner. You know what girl dinner is?
No.
You haven't heard of girl dinner? I do this all the time. Girl dinner is like if I want to eat, I don't know, crackers, cheese, and salami for dinner, that's girl dinner. That's like
Or cereal.
Or cereal. Ooh, cereal's girl dinner. Yeah, and Todd's like, this is not regular dinner. Like but it's girl dinner. He's like, I don't want to eat girl dinner tonight. I want to eat like
That's
real
the way
food.
I would be. I want to have a real dinner.
Yeah.
Well, there's somebody on TikTok that has 12 million followers, and it's a mom and her dad. And her dad's a financial planner, and she always talks about this girl math, and she'll talk about things like if you get a tattoo and the tattoo lasts you a lifetime, and you figure out per day cost, it's a penny a day. Well, that's almost free.
Yeah.
So your $200 tattoo is free.
Making you money.
See? Yeah.
If I do the same thing. If I'm buying a really nice outfit and I'm thinking of the several places that I can wear this outfit, and I'm like, okay, well, so now instead of it being $200, well, then I'm breaking it down. Oh, well, it's only $20 per time I wear it. Girl math.
Girl math. Well, we did it recently in our business. We ordered this wallpaper for the podcast from Italy. And I don't remember exact numbers, but I'm just going to kind of roughly off the top of my head.
$300. Just say $300.
$300 for the wallpaper. We didn't use it. So it was $75 to send it back.
Which is stupid.
Stupid. That was the cheapest way to send it back. And what you said to me was, well, yeah, but it's like getting whatever it was, $175 back free. I'm like, well, no, we got to spend $75 to get our money back.
Carry the one.
Yeah. Multiply by 3.
Well, so either it sits in the office and
I know, but God, it was hard to spend the money to return it, and then hope that somebody in Italy in some little back alley shop gives us our credit back.
You know what? That was a lesson for me ordering off of Etsy, because I don't order off of Etsy very much. I mean, like hardly ever at all. And it's the wallpaper place was called Wallpapers for Beginners. Okay. So I order from Wallpapers for Beginners, and they send me wallpapers for Michelangelo. And it was not. It was paper, like not vinyl. It was paper, and you had to paste it. You had to paste it like 4 times.
And they swore that it would come off easy, but there was no way it was coming off.
No,
it would have taken us probably a week to get it on the wall.
Well, in our office too here, we couldn't have anything permanent up on the walls, so I finagled a deal, and even though shipping was free, I had to pay shipping to ship it back
to Italy.
Okay,
where you will be in a week, and you could have just found that little back alley shop and dropped it off, but no.
I already looked. It was in northern Italy, and I'm going to be in Rome.
Take one for the team. Ride the train up there, Michelle.
No, but do you know that even just the process of going to try to figure out how to ship it back, UPS wanted over $200, and USPS $76, $75, whatever. I couldn't believe. Like,
so
what?
USPS will be lucky if it ever makes it there.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. I have a tracking number, Steve.
Yeah. Well, staying on this hashtag boy math, I actually see this on the boy side. So triathlons. I go to these triathlons, and there's these guys that are roughly my age, maybe sometimes a little younger, and they're riding $10,000 bicycles with $8,000 wheels on them.
That's a car. You know you can get a car for $18,000.
I hear you. And in the boy math head, what those guys are thinking is, this will save me 20 seconds on the bike split. So it's worth every penny. And if you break that down, it's like $1,000 a second. But guys do that all the time. I see that all the time. And I always think when I see that, because I'm riding a 4-year-old triathlon bike that's just beat up, it's all grimy. And I think if you guys rode 50 extra miles a week or did one more workout a week, you could save a minute on the bike. But no, they're trying to buy speed. That's boy math.
Does your bike have like little streamers and bling, 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 bling?
It does. I look like Pee Wee Herman at my...
A little huffy.
I look like Pee Wee Herman when I do a triathlon.
A little huffy bike.
That's right. But anyway, I thought that was really funny, and it fits real well with how you and I do our podcast and our real estate business.
We'll just have girl lunch with our girl math.
Hey, our guest today, we're going to take a little break here in a second and get him in from Hill Country Kids Clothing. Oh, you have another story.
I do. Just because by the time this airs, it is going to be Halloween around the corner. And a lot of people that have recently moved here, I know we talked about this a little bit last year, but people here in Texas, we celebrate Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead. And people don't really kind of understand what Dia de los Muertos is. So All Hallows Eve, obviously, is October 31st. And then November 1st is Day of the Children and All Saints Day. But Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, it was a big thing when I grew up in down in the valley. Did y'all celebrate it in Spain? No, it's a traditional. I guess not, because it's a traditional Mexican holiday.
Thing,
okay, yeah. I thought it was more of a Latin thing, but I guess it is a Mexican holiday. But it's celebrated on November 2nd, and it's believed that the souls of the dead return to visit their living family members. And many people celebrate this day by visiting the graves of deceased loved ones and setting up altars with their favorite food, drinks, and photos. Now, the way we celebrated it, not my family in particular, but my friends' families growing up, is it was a big old party at the cemetery.
At the cemetery?
Yeah. Yeah, candles and the whole
midnight?
thing. You know, honestly.
In the dark, though. In
the dark, yeah. It's been around for about, maybe 3,000 years, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to butcher this word because you know me and words. Indigenous people.
No, very
Mexico.
good.
Oh, I said it. Thank you. We need a button for that.
Yes, we do.
But it's a big thing down in South Texas, and I've seen a lot of Day of the Dead kind of celebrations that happen here around Austin, and bars and stuff like that are doing that. So that's what that is about. It was established in, what did I say, 3,000 years? Maybe I was wrong. Here's girl math. It was established in 1400. Here's some girl math. But in 1960, it was when it was declared a national holiday. Mexican state declared it a public holiday. So that's what's going to be happening.
Staying with the boy math, girl math thing. How do we rationalize the amount of money that we spend on Halloween decorations crap every year? Just crap.
I used to spend more money, and I used to have a lot more Halloween decorations when my children were smaller, and we used to turn our little porte-cochere in a haunted house, and we'd kind of go all out. Now, I've said this in the past, I turn my lights off and I hide in the back.
Oh, same.
But I'm now about celebrating. My decorations have evolved from Halloween to Thanksgiving, and they're more about the Thanksgiving. And I feel like, this is just me personally, that the world is a scary enough place, and I'm kind of leaning more on my Christian faith, and I don't feel very comfortable decorating my house with Satan and ghosts and goblins.
I run over in Belterra once or twice a week. And some of the houses over there they literally have thousands of dollars worth of plastic made in China crap laid out in their yard. And I think, man, what a waste of money.
Well, but you know what? Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate though. Okay, yes, from you don't have little kids anymore. But I would probably still do it.
Do you think that spending $5,000 on a 16-foot ghoul that you could put by your front door is going to make your 5-year-old kid have a better Halloween?
Do you know that when Home Depot puts those things in stock, that those go like crazy?
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm not saying that they don't.
It. And we used to have like a Snoopy that would blow up, and they love it.
This is what you do. You get your neighbor all hyped up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And you say, hey, we're going to go to Miss Michelle's house.
That's a good idea.
She's going to decorate. All we're going to do over here is hang some sheets by our front door.
Well, I do love seeing the little kids dressed up. I don't think I think it's so cute. Last year I happened to go to the UPS store, as a matter of fact, and the daycare next door to it was trick-or-treating, and it made my day because it just
I like
so
seeing
cute.
the little kids too. When I run over in Belterra, there's this one house that's on a very dark street, and they have their whole yard just covered, and the lights aren't on. And by their front door, they have this satanic-looking ghoul with big wings on it. And I swear to God, it's 16 feet tall. It's got to be 16 feet tall. And I caught myself the other day. It's dark. I got a headlamp on. I'm running down the street. And as I went by that, I looked at it. And then as I went a little bit further down the road, I turned around to make sure it was still standing by the front door, because I was like, that's like something out of a movie. Like I felt like that thing was going to come after me. They're scary looking.
Well, you want to know how that mom justified that? Girl math.
Girl math.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah. It was $499. And she said, yeah, but it's just $5 every year. We'll
holiday,
use it
yep.
for 20 years and it's $5 a year.
Absolutely.
Or whatever, so. Well, let's take a little break and get Ian and Christine from Hill Country Kids Clothing in here.
Hey, Steve, can I have $5 for my trip? Girl math.
Probably sponsored by.
At Capital Farm Credit, they understand that owning land is more than just a transaction. It's a legacy, a future, and a place to call your own.
For generations, Capital Farm Credit has been the trusted lending partner for land loans, farmers, ranchers, and rural dreamers just like you.
Their personalized loan solutions cater to your unique needs, making the journey to land ownership smoother than ever.
Capital Farm Credit, your land, your legacy. Visit capitalfarmcredit.com or Mark Rutledge at 512-892-4425.
Capital Farm Credit, an equal credit housing lender.
Interior design should be an investment in your life and home. Let M. Elliott Studio transform your space, where interior design meets excellence in Central Texas.
Beyond just selecting colors and furnishings, team principal and owner, Montana Elliott, is a trained and licensed interior designer.
With her knowledge of architectural principles, building codes, space planning, and design theory, her team will work with you to understand your needs and lifestyle.
From concept to completion, M. Elliott Studio is committed to enhancing your space with a timeless and classic style.
Ready to redefine your space?
melliottstudio.com, 512-781-0224.
This portion of the show is brought to you by the Mallett Integrity Team of real estate professionals. They are based in Dripping Springs and bring you over 45 years of combined experience helping people reach their hill country real estate dreams. When you want the best in town, call them at 512-829-2062 or look them up at mallettintegrityteam.com. And now, here's Steve and Michelle.
And we're back.
Welcome back, Steve Mallett. God bless America.
Hey, Michelle, we're here with Christine and Ian Evilsizor and Christine Hawkins of Hill Country Kids Clothing. Did I get that right?
You did, correct.
All right. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. You guys live in Dripping.
We do.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
I've been here since probably about 8 years now.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Are you guys newly together, it sounds like?
Look at that face.
I moved here about 2 years ago.
We've been together
2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
They're engaged now.
Nice little pause there, make sure she answered.
Yeah.
They're engaged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
just
congratulations.
Recently engaged. We got engaged in June.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
When's the wedding? Oh, look at that. Oh, this is
Well, everything here is put out, 18 months? So we're looking at probably next year around November-ish.
We got engaged on a cruise we went on at the end of June. It was our 2-year anniversary, actually. And so we knew once we got back, we just wanted to kind of relax, and have the kids go back to school. And, we know it'll be in the fall. We're just not exactly sure. And we've looked at a couple of places. We're not in any huge rush.
You're going to do one of those big fancy weddings?
he's like, wait a minute. Did Christine
Did you know this was going to be a therapy session, by the way?
a list of
I like
answers
this line of questions.
Oh, hey, just text them to me, okay, and I'll ask a bunch of more questions.
No, I think not huge, but I think we want it to be beautiful and tasteful, and we do have some ideas of we want it to be us.
Yeah, we've both been married. I had somewhat of a big wedding. She had a very small wedding, so somewhere in between.
Yeah, I had 3 weddings in 18 months. Not me personally, my children. So
wow.
I've visited almost every single wedding venue here in Dripping. So after the podcast, I'll give you my ideas.
Give her
but
your notes.
Whatever you do, just make sure that Pigpen caters it. That's it. That's the only. That's
We've
the only
already
thing
talked about that.
Okay.
I believe that's going to be part of it for sure.
That's the best. That's the best to do that. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us how you got the idea for Hill Country Kids Clothing.
Alcohol.
Lots of kids companies come about from alcohol, I guess.
What's that saying?
Lots
No
of
great
kids.
story started with, hey, I had a salad.
That's right.
Got to write that down.
That may be our title for sure.
About 2.5 years ago, we were sitting, used to live out on Procknell Road, had a nice big deck out back, and a lot of times we'd sit out there and just have a drink and just the two of us chit-chatting, and started out with a great idea to open up some food trailers. So we had 2 food trailers here in town.
Okay.
And then we were like, that's just not enough. We need more stuff to do. So found a failing business in San Antonio, bought up all their inventory, started an online business. And
was it a kids' clothing line?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, about 6 months into us being in the trailers, because we were down there where Pigpen started.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And
which one was yours?
3 Leaf Tavern, the pizza place, and then we had Evil Treats Shaved Ice.
Okay.
I visited that one a lot.
Yeah, so we were there about 6 months, and it was about June or July of last year when it was just blistering hot, and we're sitting there and we're watching our online business just go, and we're seeing these orders come in, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to go out there, the warehouse at night and ship. We're going to have to get up early in the morning and go ship. And it just got to a point where we were working 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. And our online business was actually doing, double, triple what the trailers were doing. So we're like, we can go to Monday through Friday working 8 hours a day, weekends off, spend more time with the kids, or we can sit here and drop 20 pounds a day, in the sweat and the heat and the trailer. So
miserable.
It was just a business decision. We haven't regretted it one bit.
Yeah.
How hard was it to get into the online aspect of the business though, versus just like the face-to-face customer interface? And now you're...
So we actually never were retail, and that was really never what we want. That was kind of the idea behind getting away from the trailers when we made the decision to do Hill Country Kids full time, was the freedom and flexibility of being online. We can work when we need to work, and we can turn it off when we need to turn it off. And it was really, when we ultimately, I think, made the decision to really do it, we were actually out on our boat at the lake with the kids, and we've got our music on the boat, and we're out in the water floating, and it's like a Saturday or something, and our phones keep going off, cha-ching, 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 and we're like,
these are orders coming in?
These are orders coming in, and we're kind of looking at each other like,
what are we doing here?
We need this, and thinking, we got to get back to work, and we got, at the trailers, and we just kind of made the decision at that point that it made more sense to be able to work less, be able to spend time with our kids, and make more.
You have physical inventory though that y'all ship out, or does
all
it
of it?
Everything.
Oh, wow.
So
Everything.
you have like a warehouse situation where you're stocking the stuff?
Our warehouse is out on Bell Springs Road.
Yeah.
You go to the website, and everything you see there is in stock, ready to ship. And that's kind of been a real big key to our success. Like the business that we bought up, they were doing a lot of pre-orders, and they would take, days, sometimes weeks to ship stuff. We're out there shipping stuff that was ordered last night after 4:00.
Wow.
So we're shipping same or next day. We've just got it. Her background, she really started up the website. So everything you see on the website is all her doing.
It's a great website.
It is. And by the way, I want to know if this Morgan Wallen outfit comes in my size. I want this 100%.
But yeah, she started, she's like, honey, I can get this website up in less than an hour.
Is that your background, Christine, is website development?
No, but I just sat down and decided we needed this to get done.
Yeah. That's how we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Just like
I
sat
still
down
don't
and said,
know what
let's
I'm
do
doing.
It. No, we're making it. So neither one of you had a background in clothing?
Not really. Well, I mean,
they wear clothes. They're clothed here today,
but I mean,
Steve.
clothing sales a whole.
So we each have, I think, a background in different aspects of the business.
Okay.
So I know, we both had
together. We're like Voltron. We come together.
and then anything that we're not proficient on, we kind of each take the lead on different things. So there's definitely things that he is much stronger at that he's like, okay, I got this, honey. And then there's things where I'm like, okay, I got this.
Left brain, right brain. Yeah.
Yeah. So she does a lot. Together. Like I said, she does a lot of the website stuff. She does all except for the photographs you see there of the children. Those are customers submitting those, but all the product we have a little studio that we keep developing at the warehouse, and she takes all the pictures of everything. I work for big box retailers, some clothing, but mostly hard line goods. But I knew a lot about inventory. I knew a lot about warehouse operations. So you go out to our warehouse, it looks and feels kind of like Amazon. Like everything's barcoded. We scan everything in and out. Everything ships same or next day.
Are you still doing that, working for the big box retailers? Is this your full-time jobs now?
This is our full-time job.
Full-time. It sounds like full-time.
Yeah. There's many times because a lot of our suppliers a lot of them are overseas. So there's a lot of times, even after, we go home because of the time difference, we're sitting there on the couch and we're emailing those guys and approving fabrics and approving outfits. And a lot of the stuff we design ourselves.
Who makes the outfits?
We have a manufacturer overseas.
Oh, okay. So then, like this type of, like the Morgan Wallen outfit, for instance, do you guys approve the design, or is this outfit, I mean, you guys put all the fabric and everything else together and you say, okay, we want to put.
It depends on the item.
Okay.
So some of them, yes, some of them we literally will go find a fabric and be like, we want this to be an outfit. And we'll tell them if we want it short sleeve, long sleeve, ruffles, no ruffles, bell bottoms. We'll tell them what we want and send mock-ups and stuff like that. And then they design it. Some stuff, we purchase outright. It just kind of depends on it. All of that is our brand new. A lot of the T-shirts that you see are just, this is an expansion. Yes.
This is adorable. I just saw this T-shirt. It's a women's shirt, and it says, "I just hope Taylor's boyfriend's team wins." Yeah. I think that is so clever and so adorable and
Who came up with that one?
So that is one of our designs. One of our vendors. And so we press all of this. We order all of our own T-shirts, and we create those in the warehouse.
Yeah. So recently we just started all this stuff. A lot of the T-shirts, the mom stuff, the dad stuff, a lot of the children's T-shirts. We just started up within the past less than a month.
Okay.
We just placed an order, a fairly large order the other day that we're expecting within the next week of small home accessories. So we're kind of branching into. Yeah. So the one thing about us is I don't think no idea is too crazy. If it makes sense, we go after it. I mean, we're the first children's clothing to ever sponsor a NASCAR.
I saw that. We want to dive in.
Definitely want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Ian, I saw that in your bio you grew up in Ohio.
Sure.
So why Dripping Springs? What brought you here to this little area?
My daughter.
Oh.
Yeah. So long story short, moved down here following my daughter down here. She was 6 months when she moved down here. Started out in Round Rock. Things happened, got emergency custody of her. And as soon as I got custody of her, I started researching like schools, and Dripping kept coming up. And I'd gone through here numerous times. I used to go to Salt Lick or run out to Fredericksburg.
Don't let Bill hear you say Salt Lick.
I know. We haven't been there since.
Yeah, we haven't either.
It's been 2 years since I've been there.
I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah, but so started researching the schools, want to make sure she got into a great school. And so moved out here, lived out of Proc now for the longest time. And then just recently, within the past 2 years, moved in town here. We're actually over here right behind the studio here.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
So you mentioned Ian, you worked for big box retailers, but are all of your sales for Hill Country Kids Clothing, is it all online through your website?
It is all online.
Have you thought about the next step, selling into retailers?
Nope.
Not going to do it.
No, I think both of us, what the problem with that is then you're married to it. Then you're tied to specific hours. You're tied to larger overhead, employees, employee benefits, all those things. Takes away the freedom that we really looked for. So no, we don't. We sell to other boutiques, smaller boutiques. We do a wholesale program with a lot of them because we get.
Oh, I can see that. Definitely.
We get emails every day like, "Oh, hey, do you guys sell wholesale?" And yeah, we have an extensive list of smaller boutiques across the country that we work with, and we'll throw some designs out there and say, "Hey, if you want these are available."
Has Amazon approached you guys about selling on their platform?
They're way too. Their fees are way too expensive. I don't know that we'd want to, even if they did. But we like the touching on why we don't want to do retail. Even a part of it is we like being able to run out to Bell Springs Winery or run out to Pigpen for lunch. Or, sometimes we'll just be
the
sitting
nachos there are fantastic.
Yeah, we finish up, work. We get everything we need to get done for the day. We like that we can leave and go do something.
And
or if our kid has something going on at school, we can go and do. Like we don't have to be. If we had a boutique, say even on Mercer or wherever, you've got to be there. The hours you say you're going to be there.
Retail hours, yeah.
Yeah. So
and we can literally there's been numerous times where we go to a Cowboys game or go to a NASCAR race or go up to the lake and, I'm driving, she's sitting there with a laptop and we're still working. So wherever our laptop can go, wherever we can get a connection, that's our office.
That sounds like real estate.
Yeah.
I guess. So let's talk about your NASCAR sponsorship. I guess it's Michael McDowell, who I was reading on your press release, won the 2021 Daytona 500. Wow.
Yeah.
So this isn't some guy that's running 40th every weekend, 4 laps
and more
down.
recently.
Yeah. And so it was crazy. We had signed the contract a couple weeks prior to him going to where you see the trophy there. We had signed the contract a couple weeks prior to that, and we were actually in Ohio for my sister's wedding, and we're sitting there in my mom's living room watching the Indianapolis race, the road course race, and he wins. And we're like, oh my gosh, this press release just got dropped. We are the luckiest charm out there for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, that couldn't have worked out better. And yes, he is with the new setup that NASCAR has. He is a force. He's a top 10 driver week in and week out. Like, he's constantly mentioned. He's up there at the top. Great guy to work with. We could have worked with just about any driver that we wanted to.
How does that process start? How do you, you just say, hey, I want to host, or I want to sponsor a driver. Yeah.
Hey, Google, how do you sponsor NASCAR?
That's where it starts.
Did you start through did you have to contact their agent?
So NASCAR, the unique thing about NASCAR, and we talked about this with his people as well when we go to the races, like, NASCAR is such a fan-friendly sport as well as a sponsor. I don't know how to say it. Like, it's very open to their sponsors.
Yeah.
Loyalty is huge, yes. But we have access with a NASCAR driver that you couldn't get in the NBA. You can't get in football. It's not there. So, the first race we went to in Kansas, we're in the drivers meeting where they bring all the drivers in, and they're sitting there talking about the rules of the race and what to do, what not to do. And I'm like, oh
Things
my
you
gosh.
can't buy tickets.
Don't get any ideas. I see Steve's little head going. He's like, next up, who's Mallett and Michelle?
Mallett and Michelle on Dripping Springs. Brought to you by NASCAR.
These drivers are just walking by, and he's like, oh, that's Chase Elliott. That's, he's just naming off names. And I'm like, I'm on my phone. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, and really, when you, and again, it was like, we went to COTA earlier this year, and that was her first race ever. And I've been watching NASCAR since I was 12. And, we were just sitting there like, wonder what it costs to get on the side of a car. Went home that night, started Googling it, and it's astronomical. It's
I was going to
ridiculous.
say, I don't know if you'll tell us, but what's it cost to get on the side of a NASCAR?
It's
Cup car.
To get on the side of a NASCAR on his team, you're probably looking at about $150,000.
Oof.
But then
for one race.
For one race.
But that's
one
just-
race?
That's one race.
And now the top,
And is
the
that
top
just down on the
drivers-
little quarter panel, or is
No,
that
that would be for his team.
Like
that would be a
hood.
full car sponsorship.
Okay.
You can get your logo on that car for about $40,000.
Wow.
And
One
is that
race.
per race? One
Per-
race.
Yes.
Well, and the cool thing too is everything is up to negotiating. Like, it's ridiculous. They
say, well, it's $40,000, and you say, well, I'll pay that if you give me backstage,
Yeah.
or not backstage,
well,
pin
Pit
passes
passes.
or
with
whatever.
the smaller teams like he's on Front Row Motorsports, so it's a much smaller team than versus like your Hendrick Motorsports or your Joe Gibbs Racing kind of thing. They have the power where they can say, oh no, we're not going to do that. These guys, they need sponsorship dollars, so everything's negotiable. And yeah, I tried to reach out to numerous teams directly after Googling and researching it, reached out to them directly, but found 2 marketing groups that specialize in NASCAR. Reached out to them and got one response back, and couldn't have been happier with it. Super great team to work with. His family is awesome. We got some really cool things lined up for later on this year. Once he gets kind of out of racing, he's going to be more of a lifestyle kind of a sponsor with us or partner with us. So a lot of photo shoots at his house, in his race garage with his family.
Wow.
But yeah, he's very grounded. He's very
Is he gonna
family
let you
oriented.
drive the car?
Touch it. Can you touch it?
Yeah. We've been inside the trailer, inside the hauler. We
Have
saw
you?
where they keep everything. We, on race day, hanging out,
Steve's just he's so
I know,
jealous
I'm
right now.
salivating.
Steve is so
Have
jealous.
you ever driven a car out at COTA?
I have not. I used to have a Challenger.
Oh, did you?
Challenger RT that thing was a lot. It was a 6-speed manual.
Oh, yeah.
So it was fun to rip through the
You
gears.
just be quiet for a minute. We're going to talk about cars.
Yeah, they want like $500 to $700 to take your car,
I
your
know.
personal car. I'm like,
So I did this. My wife gave it to me for my birthday this year, for my 60th birthday. There's a company, Longhorn Motorsports, I think it's called, and they have about 6 or 7 different cars. They've got Lamborghinis, they've got McLarens, they've got 911 GT3. That's what I drove. They've got BMW M5s, M2s.
Wow.
And you go out there and they put you a professional driver in the passenger seat, and you sit in there and they drive you around the track and they just coach you. And they're like, I was coming out on that back straightaway in that 911 GT3, and he's like, power, 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 power. And I just stamped on it, and the whole back end of the car came out. And I'm like, man, I was having so much fun. I must have had a smile from ear to ear.
Yeah, I think a little tear came out of his eye.
It was so much fun. But if you ever get a chance, go do that.
I will.
I think it's like $400 or $500, but
how many laps do you get?
You get 2. So, yeah.
Better make them good.
Well, they're pretty damn good. They'll let you go. I think they let you go to about 150 on that back straightaway before they make you lift. And you could go faster, but they won't let you. So,
wow.
And it's
You tried?
I had that thing pegged as hard as I could, and you're going down that straightaway, and that 911 GT3, which you're going 60 miles an hour, is super smooth and it's really nice. But at 150, it sounds like it's about to fall apart.
Really,
it's like making all kinds of noise. And sounds like bolts are flying off down the track. And then you got to get on the brakes, and you get on the brakes so hard your eyeballs want to come out of your head. I mean, it's a lot of fun. If being a guy that's into race cars, it'd be a thrill of a lifetime for you.
And did you zero target in on this driver, or did that marketing firm help you choose which driver?
So that marketing firm really helped. They represent a few different drivers, and we had very specific needs. We didn't want someone like a Chase Elliott that's a single guy that doesn't have kids. Like, what's he going to do for us? We wanted someone that was very family-oriented, very grounded, and we wanted someone that was going to be as much invested in us as we are them. Obviously, we give them money, but our big concern was like, you know, if you go to like a Chase Elliott or somebody and say, "Oh, have you checked out our website?" "Oh, yeah, of course we've checked out your website." These guys actually went to our website, checked it out. He doesn't work with everybody. He turns down a lot of people. If your values don't align with his values, he doesn't want to do business with you. So it worked out that way. And I mean, again, he doesn't have a Bud Light on his deal.
So okay.
And
I was trying to see some of the other sponsors.
It happened so at perfect timing. They just had that baby. In that picture, she's about 6 months old. Perfect age group for our clothing. The younger daughter there in the pink, she is a camera ham. So, but obviously they're big into adoption as well. They've got the 4 kids there, and then they're a big believer in adoption. So they adopted the younger son there. But yeah, just a super great family, super great team. We actually got a little surprise for him that's coming up hopefully soon. He drives a Mustang. So we were able to secure a Mustang baby walker.
No
and
way.
So
oh my gosh.
We sent it,
that is going to be
we
awesome.
sent it to the car shop
cool.
in North Carolina there. And one of his PR guy is kind of working behind the scenes. They're going to do a full wrap of her little walker.
No way.
Decked out in our logo and stuff. So she'll have a little race car walker. So we'll be able to do, photo shoots with it and commercials with it.
Yeah. Have you seen an uptick in sales since you started doing this that you can relate directly to this?
No, not really. Not yet.
It's early though because again, we knew, they're still racing
and he was in the playoffs for a minute.
He was in
so he's out of the playoffs now.
Yeah. So,
but, when they released that, press release, we saw an uptick of people clicking on his link, that went to our website. He had about 400 hits in one day. Which was huge.
Yeah.
It's obviously tapered off, but we know that with each time he posts and puts his link out there, and we're also doing a really unique idea with him as well. He is actually a commissioned salesperson for us. So whenever you go out there to his link and you click on it and you make a purchase through his link, he'll get a commission of that sale.
About that.
So an idea for him to earn more money.
Yeah. So you on your website you had something affiliate program or ambassador. So is he an affiliate?
Yeah, we actually set him up as an affiliate, so he'll get commission sales off of it. But we have about 200 affiliates that are out there that sell for us.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Interesting. Wow.
I see also on your website that you have brand ambassador, and that's such a new kind of wave nowadays in the age of social media. What exactly does that look like for your company being a brand ambassador? What do you look for in something like that?
When we first started it, it was rough. It was a rough go at starting it. Everybody wanted to be one. Everybody thinks they're an influencer.
So people were coming to you when
Yeah. So that's why we ended up starting it up, because we were constantly getting requests for it. So I found a program that we were able to integrate with our website. And at first we were letting anyone and everyone wants to be an influencer. Everyone thinks they're TikTok famous.
Steve thinks he's TikTok.
I don't even know how to get on TikTok.
I don't either,
Michelle.
I don't either.
I'm the least social media guy on the planet.
I have a whole TikTok channel just about Steve. Yeah.
Our daughter has one about
by
us.
Michelle.
Yeah. But, at first we got a huge influx of people wanting to be in brand ambassadors. And I kind of reeled it back, and a lot of my background was sales. So I started.
So you had to vet these people. A little bit,
Now I've got it set up where when you click on there, it's going to tell you specific expectations. If you don't meet those expectations, we don't need you, because I don't need 1,000 people sitting around not doing anything. I'd rather have 200 people out there really pushing our brand.
And they have these
pushing
benchmarks that they have to hit, because they're, they are just that. They're brand ambassadors.
Yeah,
Are you sending them some free merchandise to get them started, or
money?
You're sending them money.
Yeah, no. Well, it's commission based. So
okay. They put out the link. If it's ordered through that link, then they get a small commission.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
And then as to incentivize them, as they sell more, their commission rate goes up.
Oh, well, I'm just telling you, if that Morgan Wallen outfit comes in my size, I'm telling you, I am going to be an unintentional brand
ambassador.
ambassador.
1 million times.
We could probably make that happen.
So,
outfit is
Ian,
so cute.
if you're not big on social media, Christine, are you doing the social media? And besides the NASCAR thing, how are you marketing this?
So yes, I handle most of our social media. Again, we both dabble in everything, but I kind of take the lead on that. We do a lot of Facebook advertising. We've tried a few different things, tried some Google advertising, and it didn't work well for us. We didn't like what was going on, so we've primarily stuck to Facebook advertising. We've got a pretty good sizable email list. We've got we here in the last year or so started doing SMS messaging marketing, which has been extremely successful.
So you're doing that to people that you already have that have already ordered from you, or are you buying lists?
Oh no, we've not. Yeah. We've never had to buy lists or anything.
Do you do that like the geofencing? Do you know what that is? Like where you can like specifically target, like let's say for instance, you can geofence like a Buc-ee's, and anybody that goes into Buc-ee's, then when it comes up on their Google and like your
Facebook.
Or Facebook. Yeah, it's a real interesting. It's so marketing nowadays is like you definitely.
We've not done that yet. We've not
see the thing that Walgreens? I'm going to take you down a rabbit trail. But the thing that Walgreens is rolling out, they're going to put cameras in their store, and they're going to watch your face in the store. And they have like those ads on the refrigerators now. So they'll watch your face, and if you pause and look at the ice cream, they'll show you. They will notice. They will see that, and they will put up an ad, $1 off, whatever, Ben and Jerry's or Bluebell ice cream.
That is
creepy.
very
They're going to
creepy.
watch you in the whole
facial
store.
advertising.
Yeah.
So if I lick the ice cream, will I get it?
They're definitely.
That's funny. That's really funny. Christine, I want to know a little bit about you. So I read in your bio, you came from you grew up in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. You're a native Texan. So the only one in the room here that is we're better than they are because we're native.
Blah, 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 blah.
So what brought you here to Drip?
Him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you were still living in San Antonio with you have 4 children, right?
I have 3.
You have 3 children, 4 together. Okay.
Five.
Actually,
I have
5
2.
together.
Oh my goodness.
He has 2.
Yeah.
Wow. You do have
And a granddaughter.
And a granddaughter.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow.
You guys don't look old enough to have grandkids.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
I mean, I'm not.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Well, recently a medical doctor did tell her that she was getting older.
You
Oh,
just
no,
went there. Wow.
Come on.
You know what?
Stop.
I don't even-
Sorry.
Every chance I get, I'm going to hit
Sorry.
that nerve.
That's going on the list. I'm going to write that right there. Ian, you can get a little tick mark right there.
So that wedding just got bigger.
That's right. The wedding got bigger. My honeymoon just got much bigger. So back to the big fat wedding that she's going to get. So where did you grow up in San Antonio?
North side, so Stone Oak area is where I've lived most of my adult life. Like he said, I got divorced a few years ago, and he and I actually met online and started dating, and
She hasn't left.
And I haven't left. Yeah. I came over one night and just never left.
I came here from to Austin via San Antonio as well. So it's strange that we're only like 80 miles apart, but we're so different from San Antonio.
San Antonio versus Austin.
So different, right?
Yeah.
And how are your kids adjusting to being here?
My kids are all adults. So my youngest is 18. She's actually up in College Station. And then my son, he actually lives with us.
Works with us.
And works with us.
Oh, nice.
He'll be 21 in December. And then my oldest is in her late 20s. And yeah, she's out on her own. So
That's great.
Well, we love it here in Dripping Springs. I can't see going anywhere else. And I mean, you guys have kind of started you started your business here. And how's been the support from the community surrounding this?
It's actually been really good. When we had our trailers, we advertised a lot on the neighbors page. But yeah, it hasn't changed. We'll post stuff out there and people will like it and share it. And that's exactly what we need. That's what all the local businesses need. Like, for us, we're huge supporters of local. Like, I don't remember the last time I ate at a fast food place. I don't remember the last time I went to a chain restaurant. Like, there's way too many good places here in town.
Yeah,
and we 1,000% support local and try to work with as many local people as possible.
Yeah. I want to ask you another business question. In this journey of buying this company, starting at Hill Country Kids Clothing, and I noticed that you changed the name to HCK. Is that because you're branding into other things, or have you always called it HCK?
So we haven't actually changed the name. We just, because we're kind of branching out into different things, we don't want to stick with just the Hill Country Kids on everything. So actually from the get-go, we've always had several different logos. So really this is just one of our different logos. I actually think
that's really smart. I have a little bit of a background in the clothing industry too. And it is because calling it Hill Country Kids Clothing just sort of pigeonholes you.
Yes.
If it's HCK, you've got a lot more things.
So if you'll notice, we've got the Hill Country Kids, the long branded logo on the left. And then if you look at the pictures, it's the circle HCK.
Yeah, I like that.
That says the kids clothing around it. And then like the logo on his shirt, or if you scroll down to some of our t-shirts, we go back up a little bit then, so that we've got the HCK clothing. So that, we obviously, because we brand all of our shirts, we don't want it to say Hill Country Kids on a mom shirt or on a dad shirt.
Exactly.
So
you probably learned that along the way. What are some of the other things that you've learned about yourselves or about business as you've gone on this journey?
You can answer the business question. From where we started versus where we are now. Like he's done so much with the shop and the warehouse and organization. Yeah, and I think if you had to put a title to it, I definitely take care of all the warehouse stuff and shipping and receiving. But I'm also I'm always asking, and she'll tell you, I'm the researcher. So if an idea pops up again, no idea is too dumb. I'll go down that long rabbit hole to figure out if it makes business sense. And that's exactly what we were in talks with the Pro Bull Riders, PBR, that we're going to revisit after the first of the year because we just entered into that contract with NASCAR. And we didn't want to bite off. We wanted to give 100% to NASCAR, see how it goes, see how it works. And then if we can next year, take on the PBR as well. But when we get an idea, I usually am the one researching it, whether it be buying equipment, buying warehouse stuff. I mean, we've looked at everything from, digital printers for printing our own clothing. Everything. So
your prices are very reasonable as well.
And that's because the amount that we can buy.
Yeah.
And again, you go to a smaller boutique, you're not going to find a shirt, at $5.99.
Yeah.
That's because we invest a lot of money into our inventory. We make sure we buy enough quantity to drive that price down because more than anything right now, everything is so expensive right now. So being able to offer parents their, fun, affordable clothing and fast shipping. So they're not $20 to us might mean $20 different to you to $20 to a single mom out there working. So we want to make sure that, when they do spend their money with us, we want to get it out to them as quick as possible.
Yeah. Christine, what about you?
And so just to add to what he was saying, a lot of why we're able to keep our prices reasonable and low is we make sure that we're hands-on. We're there every day. So it's, we're not hands-off where we're just paying a whole bunch of employees to, ship and do all of these things. We have an employee and we, so we hire when we need to, but we are there every single day, and that helps keep overhead from having to be astronomical as well. So we're able to offer, better pricing.
Sure.
How hard is it to find employees besides your family members to work for you right now?
Luckily, we haven't had to. I mean, we haven't really had to do that much. Early on, we had a few people while we were again. We start, when we started out, it was chaos. So getting everything organized and to where it is now, we actually had just put a few posts out and were able to get some of the local teenagers and school kids. That was during the summer and had a lot of people.
Did you
that
guys
came out.
already have the warehouse, or you so you had this idea? You're on a boat, right? You're gonna we're gonna start a kids' clothing line.
Well, you had it already.
We had already, we already had the warehouse.
You just went full time with it.
It was just going to be kind of like more of a side hustle.
We bought all the inventory out of San Antonio.
Was it something similar to this?
Yeah, we've sold through a lot of every. I mean, they didn't know what they had. Like they had boxes that were sitting on the floor that they didn't even know what was in them.
Wow.
They had one or two storage units that was just packed full. They didn't know what they had. So if you'd have checked us out in the beginning, you would have seen a lot of mismatched stuff. We just worked our way through it, but we bought all this stuff and we're like, okay, where are we going to put it? It's not going to fit in our garage.
Hooked into these people? Were they friends or were they just?
It was people that we knew.
Okay, so it wasn't it was something that didn't just fall in your lap.
You guys are pretty bold because
that's pretty
you buy
scary,
all that inventory. You're sponsoring a NASCAR driver. That's pretty bold. A lot of people are very timid when they're entrepreneurs, but you're not.
But you can't be. An entrepreneur by definition is bold.
I agree. But a lot of people are, and it stops them from having success.
Well, and I think me personally, as an entrepreneur, I don't want anybody to be in control of my success. I've worked for big box retailers telling me I can do this, I can't do that. Well, why can't I try it? Can I just try it?
Right.
And so many times you're constrained by policies and procedures and management and politics and stuff like that. So for us, taking the blinders off and, people always say, think outside the box. Well, for an entrepreneur or people like us, there is no box. We don't confine ourselves to a box.
Exactly.
Well, right. And I will say, we're both very similar in that aspect and in that thinking. We've talked a lot in our past. We didn't have a lot of support, from our significant others and things like that. So when we found each other, it's actually kind of a funny story. He and the first venture that we kind of thought of, with the food trailers and stuff, again, happened over just sitting around drinking whiskey one night. And we were only together a couple months when this first started. I remember sitting at a restaurant and we had gone to dinner with Bill and Michelle, and we're sitting there and we're just having this whole conversation about the whole pig pen thing and all of our ideas and how we're going to buy these food trailers and all of this stuff. And they're like, oh, wow, and we're just all sitting there, kind of barely know each other, really. I had, only known them a short period. And one of them Bill maybe was like, how long have y'all been together? And we kind of looked at each other and said, 4 months. And they're like,
his look on his face was like,
because we were in talks to buy their property at that point, and so they're like going,
y'all are crazy.
Oh, they're like,
crazy.
Y'all are doing are y'all going to get married? We're like, I don't know, maybe someday. We're just, they're just looking at us like we were crazy, and kind of for us it was
a leap of faith.
We knew that we knew this was what it was, and so we weren't scared. I think that's the one thing, we weren't scared at all.
No, there's been days. We support each other 1,000%. We have our days where we're tiffing with one another, but we both know that at the end of the day, we both have the same objective. We both have the same goal. We just have different ways and different methods of getting there and respecting each other in that manner. She knows when to back off. I know when to back off. We both know that we have
Isn't that
the
refreshing?
best interest. Yes. Yes.
I have a very, very important question.
She looked at me because I think I don't know when to back off.
Oh, no, that's why Mondays are called Murder Mondays. Just want to let you know. I have a very, very important question. Ian, how about them Cowboys? What is going on with our Cowboys? I hear that you guys are Cowboys season ticket holders.
Time out. I am not a Cowboys fan. I am a Texans fan. I support her in that.
Oh, the give and take.
Along with
and take.
Season tickets. So.
Oh.
He could have just said, well, I'm a Texans fan, but instead he said, I am not a Cowboys fan.
This wedding is getting so big.
Yeah, it really is.
So huge. I think it's a destination wedding now at this point.
I'm cool with that.
I think it's Camp Lucy at least.
That's actually on my list to visit.
Is anybody really a Cowboys fan right now, though?
This girl was crying, literally in tears last week.
My husband literally threw a pillow across the room, and our daughter-in-law, our kids live in San Francisco, so she was taunting us all week. Yeah, so I don't know.
When I go to the games, I do root for the Cowboys.
Well, I can't ask how the Texans are because we always know what place they're in last. How many Super Bowls? None.
They're a brand new team.
Aren't they like 3 decades old now?
Weren't they the Oilers way back?
Yeah, when they were good.
At least you have the Astros. Are you a Stros fan at least?
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
So I think we need to change the topic of this conversation.
It's so weird. I'm a Longhorns fan. I'm a Texans fan. I was a Spurs fan.
Were you an Oilers fan?
I was an Oilers fan.
Okay.
But the only thing that I'm kind of outside of Texas on, even when I was in Ohio, rooted for all these Texas teams. The only thing I'm outside of the box on Texas is I am a diehard, lifelong Yankees fan, and she actually took me to Yankee Stadium this year for the first time ever.
Aww.
So,
do you guys feel like you're living the American dream?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You do. You
Absolutely.
wake up every day, not every day, but most days feeling blessed to be able to live your life this way.
That's what I was just going to say. I mean, I think more than anything, we definitely feel lucky to be where we are.
All of our.
Not only in business, but just I think personally
in life,
to be where we are and to be lucky enough to be doing something we love.
You know, and we don't live a lavish lifestyle. We're not overly wealthy or anything like that. Our bills are paid, our kids are healthy, and we get a job. We have a job. We go to work every day, and
it's a job that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, you get to do the job that you love with the one that you love. So that makes a lot of difference. Some days, yeah. Good thing I hate Steve's guts. So.
Actually, we've been working together 10 years. I don't know how she's done it. And some days I try and push a little bit to go, and she still stays. I don't know what's going on.
Can I get her to walk out the door today?
She will not quit. She will not quit.
She actually told me about a year ago that she had a dream that I died and I still came to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did. And you know what? I actually told him a couple of weeks ago, I was like, this has been a really good year for us. And he's like, it has. I said, I haven't threatened to quit once this year.
And you're still alive.
I'm still alive.
Just a little scarred.
Murder Mondays has not been successful.
He's got the desk chair by the door.
That's right.
He's got an exit plan at all times. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And
Absolutely.
How do you tell our listeners how to find you guys?
We're on Facebook with Hill Country Kids Clothing. We're also online at hillcountrykidsclothing.com. We have a Twitter and Instagram account, I think, that
fairly new.
We're still working on it. Yeah.
We've just recently
we're doing that because it was a NASCAR thing. They were like, hey, the more we can get out there, the better off. So we haven't dove headfirst into that part of social media, but it's
you need a teenager to work for you, show you how to work the
like
social
a 12-year-old.
media.
TikTok. We need a TikTok kid.
And I'll tell you what, for all of our local listeners, we offer free pickup locally. We are off of Bell Springs Road. We would love to amp up. A lot of people say, where can I get this, that, or that? Locally. You can order from us, shoot us an email. We can,
we'll have it ready for you in an hour.
Get it. I mean,
that's great.
Yeah. So if you're in need of, something and you didn't have a chance to run out to here or there or wherever, we're
that's
here.
Great
we're
to
local.
Know.
And
that's great to know.
So one last question. As an entrepreneur, you're growing, you're improving. What's next for you guys?
Retirement.
You're going to do this for 30 more years?
No, the plan right now, I believe, is, unless she's changed it recently, the plan right now is once the youngest kid, who's my daughter, she's 12 over here at Dripping Springs Middle. Once she graduates, I think we're done. We'll get her off to college. Again, this is something that we've talked about, in the future. Do we sell it? Do we keep it? What do we do with it?
And that'll be a game time decision.
Yeah,
see what's happening there.
But honestly, our plan is to buy a house in the islands somewhere and start a business down there.
Caribbean islands.
Yeah.
Well, we got engaged in Roatan. That's been
On a beach?
somewhere on a beach in the water at Roatan. So that would be a cool place to kind of end up, I think.
That kind of goes along with ours because I've always told you that the biggest thing that we want to do or we could make money is doing what?
Selling pencils on the beach in Mexico.
Yep, selling pencils on the beach.
It's a plan. It's a plan. When everything goes to hell in a handbasket, you'll find us in Mexico.
We always have pencils on the beach.
The official retirement dream would be a nice big catamaran or some type of boat that we can then, offer, maybe offer private charters once a month.
And then sail the rest of the time.
Sail the rest of the time.
Cool.
Man, good for you guys. Yeah, there's too many people that are on the hamster wheel and they just run until they drop dead. And you guys got a plan to do something better.
They're letting life control them, and we're taking control of life.
That's so good.
Ooh,
I love that.
Good for that. Thank you guys for joining us. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it so much. For having us.
I never know what to expect when we invite guests in, and we got this kids' clothing line, but I've really enjoyed this.
Cool.
You guys are really cool, and I'm glad that you're part of our community.
Well, we're glad that you guys are, constantly doing podcasts about the community. So
supporting local.
It's been a lot of fun. So, we thank you both for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Ready to turn your land dreams into reality? Look no further than Capital Farm Credit.
Need a loan for your perfect piece of land? Capital Farm Credit is there for you.
Their dedicated team will tailor a loan to fit your unique needs because your dreams are their priority.
Capital Farm Credit. Your land, your legacy. Visit capitalfarmcredit.com or Mark Rutledge at 512-892-4425.
Capital Farm Credit. Together, we're better.
Capital Farm Credit, an equal credit housing lender. Elevate your living experience with M. Elliott Studio, your trusted partner in interior design, registered and licensed by the state of Texas.
You want your home to reflect your personal style and identity. Investing in a well-crafted design doesn't just beautify your home, it enriches your life.
Team principal and owner, Montana Elliott, understands the profound impact of a thoughtfully designed space. From remodeling to full design, M. Elliott Studio is the first step to unlocking your style.
Turn your aspirations into reality. Tailored to your taste and desires, M. Elliott Studio will work to create an environment that embraces your style with style.
Your space, their expertise.
melliottstudio.com 512-781-0224.
This show has been brought to you in part by the real estate pros at the Mallett Integrity Team. When you're looking to buy or sell, you need them on your side. Why settle for less when you can have real estate done right? Give them a call at 512-829-2062 or get more info at mallettintegrityteam.com.
You know you like us, so go now to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave us a review. Why don't ya? We love your feedback and comments. Email us at mallettandmichelle@gmail.com.
Thanks for putting up with us.